Welcome to the Lee Valley Boat Centre. Today we're going to be going through everything you need to know about our 12-man boat, Mr. Mole. We'll be going through fire safety today, water safety, as well as everything you need to know about driving, steering, and the other pieces of equipment that are located on board the boat. Now first off is fire safety. At the front of the boat you have a fire extinguisher. Above the sink in the middle of your boat you have a fire blanket. And just below your second shelf by the stairs at the back of the boat is another fire extinguisher. It's ABC powder in the fire extinguishers, so you can use it on any fire. Just use it to clear an exit and get yourself safe. Never use it to fight the fire itself. You have a sink on board the boat, as well as a tap connected to a full tank of fresh water. Now, you have a cold tap and you have a hot tap. Your hot tap will get extremely hot as it takes heat directly from the engine. So do be careful whenever you're washing your hands or you're doing any washing up, especially with small children around. With your cold water, I don't recommend it as drinking water unless it's been boiled. So I always tell you to bring your own bottled water if you want to. You have a fridge on board, as well as a small freezer compartment. Underneath your sink in these cupboards are your pots and pans, and over here in the other set of drawers and cupboards is your cutlery, crockery and glassware. Please make sure to always wash up what you've used, as there is a charge for any soiled or unwashed cutlery and crockery. On board the boat you have a 4-ring gas hob as well as an oven. Now to light your hob you'll need to use matches, so please be very, very careful of your fingers when you use them. You have 5 control switches on the front. The 2 outer ones are for your hob at the top. Your center is for the oven. To light your hob, you need to strike your match, push the knob in and hold it in for 2 seconds whilst you go around to the middle position. Light it, keep it held in for 2 seconds, and then you can release it. Always remember that when you're finished using your hob, you put the control back into the off position so nobody brushes past and burns themselves. To light your oven, you'll be using the small pilot hole at the front of the oven. To light it, you'll be using your middle control here. You'll need to push it in and hold it for 2 seconds, turn it to the middle position like so, and then you'll light inside your pilot hole. It might be best to have 2 people to do this, one holding the control whilst one is lighting it. After 2 seconds, you can then release the control, and then you should be fine. Always make sure you turn it off when you've finished using it to save on gas. At the back here is your bathroom. You have a sink as well as a toilet. And now with your toilet, to flush, there's a small black foot lever on the left hand side. You push it down, hold it for 2 seconds, and then you can release. Always make sure it comes back to the upright position so that you're not emptying your fresh water tank into your waste tank. With your sink, it's the same as your kitchen. Hot water is going to get extremely hot, and I don't recommend the cold water for drinking. On board the boat, you also have a radio which connects via Bluetooth and has a CD player as well. Around the side by your control panel is a USB as well as a 3.5mm jack for an aux lead. This is your electrical control panel. The only ones that you need to worry about are these 4 on the right, your water pump, your fridge, your radio, and your auxiliary. Always make sure these 4 stay on throughout the day. You have a horn as well as a bilge pump on this side, and those 2 will also need to stay on throughout the day. This is the ignition for the boat. You'll start in the 0 position, which is straight up. To start your boat, what you'll need to do is turn it twice to the right, hold it at this 90-degree angle like so. You need to hold it there for about 10 seconds and this yellow light will come on. After a quick 10 count, you'll then turn it once more to the right onto turnover. The engine kicks in, turn it into the 1 position and leave it there. If the keys are sitting in the 0 position, you're not charging your batteries. You do not want this light to be on. So make sure it sits just in the 1 position like so. To stop the engine, you'll pull up onto the side, tie up, and then hold this red stop button in for 2 seconds. The engine will cut out and then turn the key to the 0 position. Always make sure that you have your engine running before you untie, and always make sure you're tied up before you turn your engine off. Located on the back deck, you have your gas locker. What you'll do is you'll raise this wooden plank, and then it gives you access to your gas bottle. If you have a fire on board or you can smell gas at any point, come over here and then turn this valve clockwise to shut the gas off. Just like so. On the boat, you have 3 sets of ropes. You have a center rope on the roof, a front rope, and then at the back here is a back rope. Now your back and your front ropes are used as security ropes to tie yourself down to any rings that might be alongside the river or to your mooring pins. Your center rope is your control rope. You'll use that to pull yourself in or backwards and forwards should you require. Your center rope you want to leave nicely coiled up on the roof when you're not using it, free of any obstructions, so that when you pull into moor or you're coming into a lock, you can grab it and step off. You don't have to climb up and down and put yourself at risk. On the roof you also have a barge pole and a boat hook. Now you'll use your barge pole as a push, not as a lever, just to prevent it from snapping. And you'll use it to give yourself an extra push from the side should you need to. Your boat hook is for hooking in any objects or a rope if you've dropped it in, but never for people or animals because it is quite sharp at the other end. You also have a life ring on the roof over here. If somebody happens to go into the water from this boat, from another boat, or even from the bankside, the very first thing you do is you go into neutral on your throttle control, how it's positioned now. You'll then take your life ring, throw it towards the person but not directly at them, keeping hold of the white rope that's in the center. Once they're secure along the life ring, you'll then start to pull them on board. The back deck here is going to be the best place to get them on and off, as it's a large flat area. Once they're on board the boat, pull them inside, get them dry and keep them warm, and look out for the signs of cold water shock. At the back of the boat, alongside your stairs and beneath your ignition controls, you have 2 mooring pins and 2 lock keys, as well as a hammer. Now you'll use your mooring pins to knock into the ground on any grass surface on the riverside of the towpath so that you can tie yourself to them. Knock them about halfway down through the pin, then tie off to them at the front and at the back. Your lock keys will be used at a later date for locks in a different video. Now for driving. You have your throttle lever down here at your left hand side, and you have your tiller arm in your right. For your throttle lever, all you do is you push it forwards to go forwards. Into the middle is neutral, and you pull it backwards to go into reverse. Reverse is also your brake. Do use it sparingly, however, as it is a lot more powerful in reverse than it is forwards for emergency stopping. Whenever you're going into reverse, take nice, smooth, gentle motions until the boat comes to a stop. If it's an absolute emergency, go full reverse and bring the boat to a stop as quickly as possible. With your tiller arm for your steering, you pull it left to turn right, and you push it right to turn left. Take it very gentle with your steering. You don't need large movements to keep the boat going in a nice straight line. You do, however, need to make sure you have power running forward to be able to turn. If it's sitting in neutral, the boat will drift in the direction it was going, and in reverse, the boat will go wherever it wants to go. So only ever do maneuvers whilst you're going forward. With the steering, I would always recommend you turn little and early. So make small adjustments and then a little bit more as you need to. Try and avoid going all the way round and then having to fight it all the way back. Now, when you're driving on the boat today, you always need to make sure you stay on the right-hand side of the river and stay at least 2 meters away from the edge, just so you don't get caught up on any shallow grounds or any weed banks. Also, whilst you're in motion, nobody is to be on the top of the roof. This is to allow the driver to see at all times and to make sure nobody is knocked off the roof. We do have signs to remind you to drive on the right and to stay off the roof. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy your day. If at any point today whilst you're out you have any questions or problems, the phone number is located on the side of the boat. It is also on the front of a manual that is given to you.